Now we want to look at a system of equations that involve decimal coefficients. It will be very important in our first step to find a way to simplify this system. Let's read our helpful hint. Since the decimals are all tenths, multiply each term of each equation by 10 to find an equivalent system of equations without decimal coefficients. Then solve the system. Now let's see how we can follow this helpful hint and transform our system. We notice every single equation has expressions of tenth except for the value of 0. If we multiply everything by 10, it moves the decimal point one place to the right. So 10 times 3 tenths would give us 3x. 10 times 2 tenths would give us 2y. Now 10 times 0 is still 0, so the 0 value will not change. Now 1.0x, when we multiply by 10, we get 10x. 10 times 0.5y would give us 5y. And 10 times minus 0.5 gives us negative 5. Now we have a system of equations. We would like to be able to solve it. It probably would be easiest by the addition method. If we multiply the top equation by negative 5 and we multiply the bottom equation by 2, then we will achieve the goal of having minus 10y on the top and plus 10y on the bottom. Let's work that through. Negative 5 times 3x would be negative 15x. Negative 5 times 2y is negative 10y. Negative 5 times 0, of course, is 0. 2 times 10x is 20x. 2 times 10y, 2 times 5y would give us 10y. And 2 times minus 5 would give us negative 10. What happens when we add these two equations together? Plus 10y and minus 10y is 0, so that part drops out. 20x added to minus 15x is 5x, and negative 10 added to 0 is negative 10. If we divide each side of the equation by 5, we'll get x equals negative 2. Now, we need to go back and find out what y is. We'll need to erase and do just a little bit of work to simplify the situation and find the second variable. This equation here seems to be the easiest, so I'm going to copy it over here. 3x plus 2y equals 0, and the value we're using is x equals negative 2. Now, let's see what will happen when we substitute that expression. 3 times x, 3 times negative 2, plus 2y equals 0. Negative 6 plus 2y equals 0. If I add 6 to each side, 2y equals 6. If I divide each side by 2, I get y equals 3. So the answer to the original problem that we had with those two equations is x is minus 2, y is 3. If we write it as an ordered pair, the solution is negative 2, 3. The key to solving problems like this is to take some time in the very first few steps, multiply each equation by 10 or 100 to clear away all the decimals and have a system of equation that has for coefficients integer values.